I just started a live, but the camera wasn't working. Now let's get started. I'm going to be doing a landscape here. I'm going to start with the sky real quick. Really light sky, light blue. I'm using Prussian blue with titanium white. Alright, here we go. Very light. What I did, I put a lot of white into this blue. And I'll show you what I'm gonna do here, because I'm gonna have mountains all along the back here. I'll kind of roughly sketch those in right now with my blue color. They're going to be in gray though. Just all the way across. And what I'm going to do is I'll put this blue up there, here and there, and then wherever I don't put this blue, I will maybe another color in there. Like, white or something for clouds, maybe blue. But I made that blue pretty light, and it's still not as light as I want it. Isn't that crazy? Looks like I grabbed a little bit of red on my brush there, so it's kind of making a pink color down here, which is alright, around the top of the mountains. I'm not using any medium. This is just straight oil paint, and I'm kind of scumming it in here and there. I'm going to try a little bit some off colors here. That way the sky has, you know, different temperature going on everywhere. So this is a little darker blue. It's just I didn't put I put less white to it. Here's some white. This white will actually end looking like distant clouds when I'm done. So just fill up your sky. If you want to end up doing this picture, feel free to copy what I'm doing. It's going to come out really good. I have distant mountains, a main mountain in the front, and just some desert flowers down here. And this is a very simple painting, but it's going to look awesome. It's not that complicated. I'm just using straight paint. No turpentine or anything. Just throw the paint up there and make sure you cover everything. And now I'm going to add a little more darker areas. I think that's enough for the sky. Let's put the mountain, the distant mountain now. It's going to be a light gray. So I'm going to mix a light gray up with white and a little black. It's actually got to be really light, just kind of how the sky is pretty light. This gray has to be pretty light. It's going to be a little lighter than you think. It always looks different on your palette. I have a little bit of the blue from my brush mixing into the gray, but that's okay. It'll take on like a bluish gray color. So let's put the gray mountains in back here now. Put a bunch of peaks. I'm talking like you guys are following along. I don't have to explain everything. It's kind of obvious what I'm doing here. Just straight paint though. Don't use any thinner paint there. Alright, that's looking good. I think I put mountains in my description because there's going to be some mountains in here. I'm going to have a distant mountain coming here, and then we're going to have one main big mountain that's going to come over to these mountains here. Now we're going to have a mountain over here as well, and then a smaller one down here. Alright, that's enough for the distant mountains. We'll let that up a little, and then I'll put some snow up there in a little bit. So we're going to do the big mountain next. I'm going to use this blue that you see here, a darker blue. I'm going to make it a little darker than that. So I'm actually using my sky color, but I made it just a little darker. I added more Russian blue to it. Now we're going to center the peak right here. We're going to have a bunch of peaks on it. This will be covered by trees up front here. There's going to be a lot of cliffs in here coming down. Very good. I'm just going to fill it in with blue, and then I'll put the snow up there. This is the undertone of the mountain. I'm like tempted to use some medium to help paint flow, but I don't want to. I don't want to use any. I just want to use paint. This mountain's going to come pretty much down here straight across. I think if you've never done a landscape, I think you'll be able to do this one. I'm going to make it really simple for you. Alright, let's put this other mountain in here. This is going to be we're going to make it darker gray than that. So I'm going to add a little more black to that gray. And we're just going to make a big mountain peak back here. Still going to be in the distance though. Thanks for watching, guys. I can't wait to put the snow up here. It's going to be cool. With that same gray, a little hill over here, just like a side mountain here. It's a little darker, but that's all right. We'll put some little indication of a shadow up here on this one. Very good. This goes out to the one I love. All right. my desert floor here, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use got some Naples yellow. If I can find it. There it is. All right, Naples yellow. I was going to use yellow ochre, but all right, Naples yellow. I'm going to put a little white in it and make a burnt umber just to dull down a bit. All right, so this is going to be our desert floor here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some patches here, okay? We're going to make some patches of dirt as we move closer to the front here. And then around it I'm going to put the grass. I'll show. So just, I'm creating some patches of dirt. The ones back here should be pretty skinny. The ones that are further away. Or long, make them long and skinny like this. The color will change in a little bit, but I'm just using the same tone to design the floor right now. Alright, there we go. That's enough. So the rest of this is going to be, I'm going to mix sap green with a little black, okay? Sap green with a touch of black. It's going to go in dark, but then I'm going to lighten it as the painting progresses. Don't use any thinner or anything. Still just using paint. Once you start using thinner and stuff, the, the the tone gets less vibrant. I want it to look pretty good. The reason I'm doing it like this is because I'm going to put flowers on top of this grass, so just to get the floor done. But you can see this is so far fairly simple. I think even if you've never done a landscape, I think you could probably pull this off. The only hard part is probably going to be the snow on the mountains, but that's where you really need some practice for that. The other thing with painting, you gotta learn to be patient, and I'm kind of learning that now that I'm doing portraits. So I'm gonna add a little white to it for back here. I want the color to be a little lighter in the back here, these patches. But I mean, I can do that later too. Doesn't matter. Just all in with the same tone. So over here I'm going to have some bushes and stuff. So let me finish this down here. I think anybody will be able to do this painting. I'll pretty much use the same brush for the whole painting. It's not going to be anything complicated. No hard details or anything. We're just laying paint down, color. Kind of blending the colors together here. Kind of brings it all together. All right, I got the whole painting covered pretty much. Doesn't that look cool so far? Really simple. Let's see who's in the chat room here. Fairy Molly Wing. You could say half of the KNY fandom shows up in the other. Sorry, I didn't. My chat room keeps shutting off. Sorry, I didn't check the chat room in time. Thanks for popping in though. Thanks for getting in there. Hopefully you subscribe. I'm trying to get 2 million subscribers. I don't know if that's possible. I'm going to do some bushes over here. I'm going to use dark sap green and black mixture. It's going to look like it's black, but it's really a dark green, okay? We're just going to put some things here that look like bushes, okay? Now we'll put lights on it in a little bit. Okay. Got some bushes there. And we'll put a few bushes kind of out and about everywhere here. Nothing major. Just take your brush and kind of make some spots kind of small back in here. And they can get a little bigger here. See that? Kind of looks like the desert already. Kind of like the desert in upper Arizona maybe, or New Mexico. All right, I think I'm ready to get started on the mountains. Let's do this first. I'm going to put a little burnt umber and red mixture. And we're going to put a little bit of color underneath our grass here, okay? Just a little. Try not to make it too thick like I'm doing. You can almost use like a liner brush. This is going to indicate is that there's some dirt underneath those bushes. This is like tall grass is what it's going to end up being. Okay, what I'm going to do is wipe my brush off. I'm not going to with any turpentine, and then I'm going to lightly blend this into that Naples yellow. Just the bottom part. Very good. Well, I'm debating whether to use a brush up here or my knife. It looks like I can get away with brush work. I'm trying to keep it easy. If I use a knife, a lot of people have a hard time with a knife. See, I'm just kind of wiping my brush because I gotta get white on there, and I don't want to get the brush wet. Alright, I'm just going to use titanium white for the snow because what I'm going to do is some of it's going to mix with this blue color, and it'll get darker on its own. Alright, snow up here. We'll start with the big peak here. I might have to, if I don't like the brush, I might have to use the knife, but I think this will be alright. Going to be a lot of snow up here. What I'll do now is pull some of this white this way from where I put that. Kind of like that. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We're just filling it up with snow. Okay, what I'm going to do now, we're going to do the other side, but I'm going to clean my brush off. And now we're just going to come up here and create the shadow side here. Kind of moving pretty quick. Oops, got a little bit of that green in there. That came out, that's how I wanted that to come out. Yeah, this is oil. If you're not familiar with like how to use a knife up here, that's why I'm using a brush. To show you that it can be done with a brush to put the snow up here as well. This is a good example here of getting your snow up there. not going for much detail. I'm just doing it the easy way, pretty much. I'm not using any mineral oils or anything on the brush. The brush is dry. Back to the mountain, but you get the idea. Lots of snow up there, because I want to put some highlights back here on these mountains, just a little. Need much. It shows up even with the lightest white. Very cool. Yeah, I'd love to see some of you guys try this. I'm going to a light green now and highlight these the top of these bushes here with sap green mixed with a little yellow. And maybe some yellow ochre. See what it looks like. No detail. We're just going to put some highlights up here. Very cool. A little later, as I move in here, thanks for all the likes, everyone. I really appreciate that. making a very light yellow color here. We're going to start working this desert floor now. By just putting different colors down there. The main thing is going to be purple flowers. I think I'm going to use this brush that I'm using here for the flowers. And I'll have to just stamp like this where I want it. Alright, I put one more hill right here. So if you just joined in, I haven't used any kind of using straight paint. I'm not cleaning the brush, I'm just wiping it off. Anything on with the straight paint. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna make my purple, because I don't have purple paint. Some distant trees back. Alright, I'm going to try and mix. I have red and Algerian crimson. I have Prussian blue. I think I'm going to try Prussian blue first to make the purple. Wow, yeah, that worked good. Gonna have to put a little white in it though, because I mean it is dark purple. So I need I'm going to try it. It's not as bright as I wanted it to be. I'll show you what I mean. Let's see if it works here. It needs to be more pinkish, I think. I have some rose pink. Yeah, it's permanent rose. Let me try mixing blue with this. I think it'll be a lot better than that. This is, it's called permanent rose. Maybe I'll put a little white in it first, see what color it changes. Oh, I think that's the color I want. It's not purple, but it's a lot brighter. I'm going to add a little bit of white to it, a little more white. And I'm going to have to use a fan brush. That filbert brush would just take too long. I'm going to take some of this pink and a little bit of it and add a little blue to it, see what happens. See if I get the color I want. We'll see. What I'll do is I'll mix both colors. Oh, there it is. I was looking in the bag for my fan brush and it was sitting outside the bag. Alright, let's give this a try. Yeah, it's gonna work. My brush is a little out of whack, but what's going to be cool, I'm going to add some highlights on there as well. And I got this darker color here. I should time, but I want to show you how cool this looks. What's cool about art like this, I mean, I'm not really trying to, your eye's going to make it look like those are flowers, but you don't have to like make each flower. You just got to put in the color. What I'm going to do is I'll show you, I'm going to put another color on top of this, and then it's going to look more like flowers. Let's try it right now. I'm going to grab a little bit of white, and this is going to be a very light pink. And we'll just come in here and put a few highlights in here. See what it looks like. Oh yeah, already it's looking better. We'll just do all the highlights on the top area, like up here. You don't want to put the highlights everywhere. Maybe just on the high spots. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you don't have a fan brush, you can use, you know, a regular brush, but it's gonna take you longer. Do 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 do. I don't like that bush there or there. So what I'm gonna do is try and change that bush a little bit with green and kind of lighten it up a bit. That's a little better. All right. So guys, whoops, I just dipped that in my cleaner. Try and make this look like fog back, not fog, but mist back there. If I can, we're going to take a little bit of white. We're going to lighten this up back here. I'm going to get my blender brush and going to lightly blend the mountain a little bit here. Ba-da-ba-ba. Cool. I got a lot of likes on this one. I appreciate it. Let me put a few birds up there. And probably let this one set and then look at it tomorrow and see, maybe add some more color in the sky. Very nice. There's a, I still want to do to it, like I want to put twigs in here, but I want to do it tomorrow when it all kind of sets up. I'll show you what I mean. Twigs like that. All right, well, I'm going to take a little break, guys, and then I'm going to do some pop art. Some faces of famous people. I'm trying to turn it into pop art, like Andy Warhol type paintings. And this one's not done, it's just done for tonight. But hopefully, if you're a new subscriber, I thank you. I'm going to take a 10-minute